What's up guys, Pop101 here. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a map for Bonelab. So let's get started. First off, you want to open up the Bonelab SDK in Unity. If you don't know how to do that, check out my previous tutorial linked in the description and up here on the right. Once you've done that, I'd recommend creating a folder like I did called My Assets. And we're just going to want to create a new scene where we can start working on our level. In my case, I'm just going to name it Test Map. Double click on it to open it, or you can always just drag it in and it opens it up. Make sure to delete the main camera, and all we're going to do is click, go to 3D object, and we can put down a plane. Now this is just where our character is going to be standing up and moving around. You can change the orientation and press F to circle around and look at this differently, or click on this again, change the perspective mode, use WASD, and move around to better work on your scene. And keep in mind, this already does come with a collider, so you don't fall through the ground. If you don't have a collider, you will fall through this no matter what it looks like. So in that case, if we click again, we create another 3D object. Let's create a cube. We can create a cube just to chill out in the middle of our scene right here, and that's what it'll look like. And just keep in mind, there's a lot more stuff we can do with this, such as lighting and occlusion, but I'll save that when a more polished SDK comes out and with more stuff. So what we're going to do now is just create an empty, name it player marker, and then add a component. This is where the player is actually going to spawn. So if we type in marker, there we go, and we can see our player. Notice they always face the direction of the blue arrow, so even if you have your gizmos turned off, you know, it doesn't really matter all that much. But just make sure that they're facing in the direction of the blue arrow. So we scroll down, and you know what, let's just move this just a tad. Keep in mind guys, you want to have this above the ground just ever so slightly so you don't clip into the ground, because that's never a good thing to do. So maybe a couple of inches. And you can also, once you have your plane set up, you can also scale it in whichever way you like. And if you have other assets that you want to put into your Unity, such as other maps, like for example, I have Hogwarts right here, which I'm going to be putting into Bonelab. And you'll notice our test map inside our very own Hogwarts, which I will of course be putting into Bonelab, just not this minute, but we can always remove this just so that I can continue working on this test map for you guys. As always, make sure to press Ctrl S, save constantly, and once we have our player marker, all we need to do is add this script, and that's really the majority of the stuff that we need for the scene at this moment. So I'm going to close this, and I can show you. We want to go to Assets, New Palette, and name this whatever we like. So in my case, the palette title is Test Map, and the author, of course, is me, Pop101. And we create it. There we go. That's all set and done. Once we've done that, stress level 0, void tools, asset warehouse. We have the test map thing that we just created. And here's where we can edit some stuff. So I'll just name it a little description right there. My version, whether you want it to be unlocked or redacted, I'd recommend just leaving it as is, because you guys really don't need to be messing with it. Press add crate. And what we're going to do is, honestly, what I'd recommend is just dragging this up in here. Makes it a little bit easier to work with. We want to drag in the scene that we just made. So the test map scene right here that looks like this. Drag it in, or you can press this and just type in whatever the name is of what you just did. So in my case, it would just be there, and then you click on it. We have a level and our crate title, the actual name of our map. I'm just going to be naming it test map, so I'll leave it like this. Press create. There we go. And you can open this up, take a look at everything in it. This is the only other thing. Honestly, you can just copy over the description, paste it here as well. No need to touch anything else. And that's it guys, so make sure to press pack for PC or pack for Quest if you're doing this for the Quest 2. But for now, I'll just do this for PC. And this will automatically pop up. You have your test map, and if we hover over it, we can see how big the build is. So 421 KB, not bad at all, compared to Hogwarts, which is almost 500 megabytes, enormous. And once our mod is set up, we want to put it in our Bonelab mod folder. If you don't know how to get here, go to Windows, Users, Pop101, make sure hidden items is checked off, go into app data, local low, scroll all the way down to stress level 0, Bonelab, and our mods folder right here. Control V to paste it in, and I'll hop in game and show you guys. And just make sure it has all these 5 things. Sometimes this will not build, so then you'll have the 4, and that really isn't an issue because Hogwarts doesn't and it worked properly. And now we're in our map, everything looks good. Now if you guys don't want it to be black like this, all you need to do is cover it in a sphere, which I'll show you how to do right now. All you're going to want to do is create a new game object, just a sphere right here, and you're just going to want it to encompass the entire area that you're playing in. So in our case, it doesn't really need to be humongous. You'll notice by the scale it's not even that much. But for something like Hogwarts, it's at 3,000 for the scale, which is pretty massive. And there we are. So notice we're back in our scene, everything looks fine, and in-game there's no more darkness surrounding anything at all. It's just this background right here. But guys, I think that's it for this video. I plan on making a much more updated one once more tools for the SDK and maps come out. So definitely stay tuned for that. So if you guys liked the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel a ton. Thanks for watching.